city, here are some things that I think it's important for us to highlight. I like the way our candidate for Congress said that we the people in order to form a more perfect union. Let me talk about what we've done collectively as the mayor and the commission. What we've done collectively is work to create an economy in our city where there have been more than $1 billion invested in the city of Augusta since 2015 in the areas of manufacturing, in the areas of healthcare, in the areas of technology, notwithstanding cybersecurity, but these are the things that we've been able to do to include the hospitality and the technology sector. I'm pleased to report on this morning that Augusta has the second fastest growing economy in the state of Georgia, only behind Atlanta. Last year alone, we had some 5,700 jobs in this region, with the majority of those jobs in the city of Augusta. But it gets better than that. We have also approved, the first time in the history of our city, the largest investment in mass transit in the city's history. Your commission and the mayor approved an $18 million investment at the Regency Gateway because we believe that the Gordon Highway corridor that you've heard me refer to as SOGO is in fact the most important and the most strategic corridor that we have in our city if we're ever going to reconnect Augusta again to where we're no longer talking about South Augusta versus West Augusta, East Augusta versus the middle of Augusta. That is the Augusta that I'm leading as your mayor. That is the reason I consistently refer to it as one Augusta, because no longer can we be Black Augusta versus White Augusta, West versus South. We've got to make investments in all of our cities. And that's why I'm continuing to ask for your vote as your mayor. We not only made investments around economic growth and job creation, and I want to keep throwing that number, over $1 billion have been invested in your city. I didn't mention just singly the Georgia Cyber Innovation and Training Center. That's a $115 million investment, with $16 million of those dollars coming from your city government that will allow us to become the cybersecurity capital of the world. That happened in our administration with this commission. Those are the types of things that have happened because of what we're doing collectively together. That's a good reason to clap. But we've also been fiscally responsible and transparent in our government. We balance the budget every year since 2015, Senator Jones, on time, every time. But for the first time in this government's history, we've done it and ended up each year with a budget surplus. That's another good reason to clap. Our city has the highest bond rating that it's had in the last 10 years. We have an AA2 rating. That's the highest we've had in the last 10 years because of our fiscal stewardship as a local government. These are things that every one of you can be equally proud of, but it gets better than that. Augusta was also one of 100 cities selected across the country as a work city. But let's talk about public safety. We've oftentimes heard in the city of Augusta that we have a history of conducting studies, but we never do anything about those studies. They just sit on the shelf. Yeah. But that's not the case with this commission. When we say we're going to do something, we then put the resources behind it, get it done, and we implement those things. So what we did is we conducted a compensation study across the entire organization of 2,700 employees. We thought it was prudent after the legislature, our senator, and the other legislators across the state of Georgia agreed with our governor that they would raise the salaries of our law enforcement officers at the state level to the $250,000 starting salary. What that did is cause local municipalities to have to be competitive if we're not going to lose our people to the state, whether it's DNR, as rangers, whether it's state troopers. So what your local government did is we conducted a compensation study. I'm pleased to report this morning, as you've heard it before, that we not only did that, but then we went a step further and implemented that study. And we not only provided all of our employees with a raise, but we raised the starting salary of our deputies in local law enforcement to where they now are starting out at about $42,000, $43,000 salary, which makes it more competitive to remain in Richmond County. We're training the best and brightest, and we're keeping them in our city because of the good work that we've been able to do just this year alone. That's another good reason. But we didn't stop there. We didn't stop there. We also did that for the fire department. Our fire chief here has worked just like our sheriff has to not only certify our department, but we're pleased to report this morning that Augusta is now one of 18 in the state of Georgia and one of 250 in the nation to receive the ISO 1 rating, which is the highest rating that a local government can receive for its fire department. We're extremely pleased with the work that our fire department's doing and the staff that he has there as well. We've got more work to do. Not only do we have more work to do, but let's talk about what we've already done. When I became the mayor, we had a budget of roughly about $260,000 to $250,000. You can't cut the mayor's office budget and think that you're going to bring a host of law enforcement officers to come to work for the city of Augusta. It takes a whole lot more to do that. That's why we raise our salaries. But we did that without raising your taxes. All of what we've done it without raising your taxes. And so, for the first time in the history of the city, people expect their mayor to be ambitious, to have goals, to bring the city together in a way that allows us to grow a city that works for everybody. Absolutely. You don't do that by cutting the mayor's salary. You don't do that by cutting the mayor's budget. What you do is you look for an opportunity to enhance that, to give the mayor the tools necessary to effectuate a broad vision for the entire city. That's what we've been able to do, and I'm pleased to have the commissioners to support that and to give us the resources that we need in order to lead the state's second city, the second largest city, with the second fastest growing economy in the state of Georgia. And you can't do that with the mayor and just one person. We've also cut red tape. We're now getting permits done at a rate faster than we've ever done in the city of Augusta's history. We did it with the Georgia Cyber Innovation and Training Center. We expedited the permitting process. Not only did they start a year ago, but they're going to have the grand opening on July 10 of this year. That's the Augusta that we now serve. That's the Augusta that we've had the great privilege of leading with the commissioners. Thank you so much. April 30th, early voting. May 22nd, vote for Hardie Davis so that we can continue with strong, stable leadership, leading our city into the future that we believe she deserves. Thank you, and God bless you.